Well, if you've been following things that have been going on in various cities around the United States, one city that seems to pop up all the time and has been for a number of years is Portland, Oregon. That seems to be like the headquarters of Antifa in Portland, and it has been for, longer than I care to admit. Now, Portland, Oregon is a beautiful city unto itself. It's up there in the northwest portion of the United States near the Pacific Ocean. Except they got a couple little issues going on with Portland. One issue is, well, if you look at Portland, there's something off in the distance about 50 miles away, Mount Hood. Now, if you get up around 50, 60,000 feet and look a little farther up the coast, you're going to see a whole lot of, well, what looks like Mount Hoods. They're all volcanoes. That entire area is part of the volcano ring that heads up from the Oregon up to Washington. In fact, it's all part of the Pacific Ring. One of those volcanoes in there was Mount St. Helens, and you know what happened to that back in 1960 or 1980. But going back to Portland, what's going on? Well, apparently things are not working out too well in Portland, so the 1960s hippies that live in Portland have decided another way to protest having the ICE people there protecting the federal building. That's what they're doing, protecting the U.S. federal building. So what they do, they rode around on bicycles naked. I don't know about you, but somebody that old from the 1960s riding around on bicycles, it ain't a good look, folks. I mean, it really ain't a good look. I don't know if I would do something like that because, well, I could have been one of those people back in those days, but I wasn't. But I don't think that the idea of hippies riding around on bicycles naked is going to get a point across. You've seen it. Of course, they blur the stuff on TV because, well, if you saw it, you wouldn't want to see it. Trust me. But that's what's happening. That's what's happening in Portland. They're trying everything they can because nothing else is working. What they do is when they're done with their bike ride, they go back to their tents on the sidewalks of Portland where they live. That's how it is in Portland. But Portland's got a bigger issue they haven't thought much about. Or maybe they have, but they don't want to admit it. About 250 miles off to the west, out in the ocean, there's an axial seamount. What is that? That's a volcano underground that's getting ready to blow. They said it would probably erupt sometime, maybe in 2024. It didn't. It's sitting there. It's bubbling. It's got a cauldron going, and everybody knows it's there. With all the problems going around the Pacific Rim, the earthquakes, the volcanoes, all the bad things that have been happening, Portland's got a big problem they just don't realize. If that axial seamount, that undersea volcano decides to let go, it'll make Mount St. Helens look like a cakewalk. That could create a tsunami of epic proportions. And even though Portland's a little bit inland, that water come rushing in up that bay, could be very bad. So, you get old hippies riding around on bicycles naked. You don't want to see that. And you've got Portland with a big old giant volcano off the shore, off to their west, and Mount Hood in the background. Any of those things could blow up at any time. And if they do, Portland, you may not be happy. And right now, the feds are in Portland to protect the federal buildings, as they are wont to do. And if you want to ride around naked on bicycles, that's your call. It just doesn't look pretty. Maybe back in the 60s it did, but that was, 50 years ago? Sorry, Mother Nature has taken its toll, and it's pretty evident seeing those people riding those bicycles.